sure that we don't get any more unwanted guests. Ah! Actually, can't speak. But we can. It's nothing personal, sir. Just very serious recording session.
You can't break this illusion.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm streaming.
Cool. Alright, so let's see. So the last thing that happened was you kicked the ass of the two spaceships and then retreated back to the mountain.
First we find the ass, then we kick the ass.
Also, I would like to highlight that we did not retreat, in fact, but tactically withdraw.
Yes.
Whereabouts are you on the map now? I can't find you amongst all the others.
We're at the north side of the barrage. Yeah.
Alright, so the next thing that happened...
Oh, hold on. The Titan has disappeared. I can only see Shaq, not a Titan.
Shaq is a Titan.
Can we just make Shaq bigger and just say he is a Titan? Does anyone remember the Titan? We haven't lost any other troops, have we?
Big Shaq!
There we go. Golly.
Shaq attack.
Well, what about in the game?
I don't know, he's almost life-size now. Wait, no, better than
I'm zooming in for the stream. I'm zooming in on Shaq.
So, the next thing that happens... the next thing that happens is... so the main fleet is kind of still hanging back somewhat because they're somewhat wary of this threat that has been revealed. But a larger chunk of it breaks off and starts heading out towards the mountains. They look like... just get the right layer. So they look like this in the top.
Is everybody else supposed to... Oh, right.
Yep.
Bloody hell, those are...
And if we go into here, the kind of orangey, squiddy-looking ones.
I'm not seeing anything currently.
It's just changed from... It's top left now. Top left.
No, I don't see a thing.
Like a screen with lots of different types of ships and things.
No, I just have a grey screen at the minute. Weird.
You have to probably zoom out, maybe, because the middle part.
Yeah, I'm always zoomed out if I can
I don't know. I've tried zooming out and then... Ah, well.
It was the screen with all the pictures of the ship.
Yeah, I saw it the first time, but I'm not seeing it now for some reason. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Right,
oh, no, it's here now.
Oh, nice. So for the people who can see, just draw. So in the bottom left picture, the squiddy-looking ones are these ones, which I've just boxed in red. You are indeed squiddy-looking.
No box on this one. Is there only one squiddy-looking one that I can see? Because I can't see any red boxes.
This one?
There we are. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. You mean there are multiple of these ones. Gotcha.
Yeah, that is an extremely squiddy one.
There's a squiddy one on the right as well, almost. Kind of squiddy one. Yeah. But that one looks more like fish.
That's a little bit more squiddly.
Squiddly diddly.
So the
Squidward? Space Squidward?
so that is what the orange ones look like, and the grey knife-looking ones just
Star Destroyers?
well, they look more like just giant knives, basically, and just like giant flying knives. And you actually saw something similar when
knives.
yeah, when you went to get the Titan, several things that looked like this were basically stabbed into the ground and into the Titan.
Oh yes, it was stabbed with giant knives, wasn't it? I forgot about that bit.
So these appear on the screen, on the scene, and the squiddy ones, they basically surge ahead and they start advancing towards the mountain, specifically homing in on barracks. And they seem to basically be hunting them.
What?
The knife ones, on the other hand, they also cross this space and they are heading for the control center.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Do you want to change course a bit, maybe, and then we?
Make them. The squids.
Yeah, because you might as well. I mean, if you lure them over us, then we can just shoot all of them.
Yeah.
Work, but might as well.
I mean, I think if we.
Is this just a very small portion of it?
Well, these are a lot of large ships. Each of these, probably in general, but yeah, actually, let's say in this case as well, any given ship, like large ship, kind of like capital ship, as it were, is going to be accompanied by kind of a fleet of like the equivalents of like fighters and transports and stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to put icons on for all of those because that'd be crazy, but yeah, you can kind of assume that for each one, it's kind of accompanied by smaller ships until you destroy all those. When you do that for a given ship, I'll kind of mark that on the icon. So yeah, taking that into account, let's see. I think there's going to be something like a total of, let's say 40-ish capital ships, and as I say, they're all accompanied by a big swarm of kind of smaller ones. So you've already taken out a couple plus, like, let's say the fleet of missiles kind of counted as a few more ships. Actually, no, take it down. Let's say it's about 25 or so. And in particular, you can see that some of there's a few which are much larger. Let's call them kind of motherships, which are accompanying the larger fleet. So basically, this isn't like a tiny fraction of the fleet, but it isn't like a main portion of it as such. They're just sending this like smaller contingent out specifically to try and hunt down Nye and Barracks, who've proven themselves to be such a threat, and also to try and do some damage to the control center and or the troops who are defending it.
Right. So I'm thinking it might be too early to let our hands slip in just how powerful this
Hmm.
is. But
If we don't.
do something like.
I will say, if you like, I haven't put all of the icons of the main fleet on the screen, but if you want to start engaging them with the mountain barrage, like it's like a planetary defense installation, basically, so it's not like limited to distant range. If you want to say that the barrage opens up and starts attacking them, then we can like do that and start handling that.
I was thinking more along the lines of if we say to Varix and I that we've managed to get one of these cannons online. We don't have much power, but we can at least give you a chance to aid your retreat and maybe fire one or two other cannons off. Say, yeah, that's all the power we've got. And then as well. gets like, ooh, they are quite powerful actually. Maybe we should investigate this thing, and they'll come along and think, da 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 da. Look, they have no power, la di da da da. Oh shit, why are ships being shot by lava?
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
plan.
I mean, the purpose of drawing these first ones in is just because as soon as they're in the kill zone, then
yeah, I mean, we're not going to wait for the entire fleet to be in a little red circle. That would be
Yeah.
the
Okay,
attack
so
barrage thing can start to lay in stuff once we've got the first ones for basically free.
okay.
so if we start to move down the way,
Yeah.
and
We can transmit
yeah,
to the effect of what I was saying.
and I'd be like, "Don't throw your lives away, you crazy fools!"
We've got one cannon online. That should be enough to give you a chance to escape.
Okay, so you're wanting to. So this is kind of all happening somewhat at once. So all of these ships are converging on you. They are going to make an attack, but yeah, let's work out like what you're doing kind of in response or during this. So you want to bring like just one cannon online? Or?
I'm thinking 3, and we'll just 3 separate ones, like say this one, and I don't know, that one. Just close-ish ones to it, and just target each of these big brown ships with them, just to make them think that we've managed to get some rudimentary weapons online for one brief attack, but not give away our entire power.
Alright, yeah, that could
Okay.
definitely work. So you're bringing 3, so you've got 3 shots that you can use to defend against this incoming detachment. Where do you want to target them?
Whereabouts on the ship, you mean? Geez,
No, I mean which.
one in each of the big gold ones.
Alright.
Because yeah, just go along with the theme of things, and I think they look a bit more dangerous than the knives.
I think
Although the knives are
the squid ships.
Squid chips are bad.
Well, maybe
Points.
maybe take one shot against a knife ship because just so that we know what effect it will
I
have.
think that's a good point. For all we know, the knives are actually a more powerful ship because they're smaller and more dangerous. Okay, so the 2 closest squid ships, and one of them the closest knife ship.
Okay, yep, that works.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to be doing that with the barrage.
Yep.
Kristen and Barracks, Barracks and Nai, you're swooping into the main targeting zone of the mountain barrage. Are you going to be doing anything else other than trying to evade these ships as they try and grapple you, basically?
Yeah,
This is like a defense turn.
right. I guess, I mean, apart from just running that interference, further radio messages to the effect of, it's hopeless, we gotta get out of here. That's not enough to take on this force. Yeah, that sounds about it. For me, anyway.
And is anyone else doing anything? Also, just to say, reminder, you do have air forces hanging back, ready to be launched whenever you want. But feel free to just keep them in hiding if you prefer.
I like the idea of keeping our cards extremely close to our chest and waiting. And indeed, I like the idea of waiting until the entire force is right above the mountain barrage. But we can play it. We can play it any way you guys want.
Cool. Okay, so let us start in that case by doing the mountain barrage. You're going to try and target 2 of the squids and 1 of the knives. Let's see. These ships are going to be level 8. Let's have it basically. Just remind me, Fayan, you've got a decent amount of intellect and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, intellect.
Oh, yeah.
Core stats.
Sweet.
Strangely.
Okay, so let's have you make to help out with the targeting and so forth. Let's have you make a intellect roll. Yeah, it's going to be difficulty 8. I'd say. Yeah, actually, before that, let's have Barracks, I think, make probably a speed roll, also difficulty 8, to basically draw them into the line of fire first.
Ooh, speed roll.
Do I get any kind of get the asset anyway?
You definitely get the asset from Nai.
Difficulty 8, you said, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think you get the asset from Nai. Probably nothing else unless you can think of a training or specialization you have.
Yeah, I mean, I would think speed defense would probably come.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. They're chasing after you, trying to grapple you.
Would they be getting closer just on the map?
Yeah, so if you're they're going to be following you, so if you go into the red ellipse, then they are going to be following you.
Is Numatunes broke for anyone else?
Oh yeah, I've not heard anything in a while.
Oh yeah, actually, because I restarted, I didn't just get that done.
Oh, that's where the error came from.
Right.
I was wondering
I'm
why.
not sure about the legality of having that music on while streaming, so I'm not playing it. But I
wonder why
feel a
it
bit
does seem
jealous.
Sorry, YouTube will tell you if it's fast.
That's right,
Yeah.
that actually makes it easier for editing anyway. Great. So that should be back up. Right.
It's just
Someone
they'll
please the link in chat, because
Yeah.
they'll revoke your sort of right to stream very quickly, apparently. Which would be a pain.
Cool. So the yes, the squids are going to be following you into this red area here. Let's go ahead and say. Let's go ahead and say that. Well, how well you draw them in is going to depend on your defense, I think, Barracks. So this is. Oh, and you already rolled that, so that's that 18.
Hmm.
Nice. Okay, so you successfully swoop and swerve your way out of the way of these ships and all these nasty kind of semi-organic looking craft. They follow you into the rectangle, and they're basically like you bring them in, and then they don't have a particularly great kind of turning radius. So as you kind of wend your way around them, they're basically kind of milling about within this area here. So that is going to greatly help the targeting with the mountain barrage. The knife ships, meanwhile, are not following you. They're heading directly for the thing. Let's say you wait until they, well, yeah. Do you want to wait to open fire with your one that's targeting them until they are basically all coming into the red ellipse, or do you want to?
I think we should draw as many as we can.
I was just thinking, I was only going to fire with a few cannons just to show, oh, we managed to get some online, but now we're out of power.
Yeah, because the
I
way
think
you
we should save all. We shouldn't wait until all of them in until we're firing off all of the cannons.
Yeah.
Out to guess. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I do.
For this? Is it like
I-
saving your best stuff to the end and never using it?
Well, I want to draw them in more. It's just that
Because I will say, at the moment you're only targeting one of the knife ships, and if you only do that and let them get into the red ellipse, you'll probably hit the first one, but the other three are probably going to strike wherever they're targeting.
Yeah, so I'd rather hit the knife thing at least before it gets into it,
Alright.
and just target two of the squids. Because imagine by the time the knife thing's getting, the squids will be gone. So.
Okay, so Fayan, this is going to be, well, it's difficulty 8, but let's say it is reduced by 2 because you've drawn them into the red zone. It's reduced by another 1 because Barracks is like kiting them about the place and leading them over the firing ports, so that's now 25.
What skill would this be? I have Numenera and Mechanics. I don't have any range.
Like either of those, I think would work.
Wow, I'll go with Numenera then, and I'll use my Flex skill to boost it up to Specialized.
Right.
I had that earlier. Bring it down to difficulty 3, and let's point 2 things up here because that's more or less free. Okay, so do you want me to make a separate roll for each one? Makes sense.
No, I think just actually, yeah, go ahead. Do that. Actually, no. Sorry, because that's gonna mess with that effort and stuff. Just make the one roll, and how many you hit will depend on how.
Okay, one roll for everything. Alright, let's see how this goes. I think it freeze up. Oh no, it come through.
yeah.
Alright,
Nice.
Nice. All right. So, seeing them coming and having them guided around the place by barracks splitting about, you successfully managed to get a shot on all 3 of the targets that you're aiming at. So basically, there's kind of a volcanic-like rumble in the ground and the earth. Suddenly, all of the ground troops would be able to feel as huge ducts that lead down into the magma of the earth are activated and draw up, fill themselves up with metallic lava, basically. And then there's just a massive, volcanic eruption as these huge, almost white glowing kind of slugs of lava get shot up into the sky and smash their way right through the core of each of your targets. So these 1 squid chip, 2 squid chip, and 1 knife all get deaded.
wow. I like this.
That's a pretty good weapon.
This is a good gun. Have these ships crashed on anything important like the artillery? Those are in the area.
No, you drew them into the rectangle and you positioned your artillery mostly out of there. So let's say that they just crash into the side of the mountain.
As long as they don't hit the lava vents. Oh god, there's too many things here. I'm starting to see a potential flaw in letting them enter the red ring. I'll be honest.
Yeah. There is that.
It may end badly.
Okay, these 2 kilometer-long ships, or several kilometer-long ships, just time they do not hit any of the lava vents. The knife one crashes 10 planes a couple of kilometers away from the mountain range. So you still have 3 knife ships approaching, and you have 1 squid ship still chasing Varix. Speaking of which, Varix, go ahead and make a speed defense. Wait, did you already?
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
I did
already
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you already did that actually. No, I think that's fine. Let's leave that as it is.
Okay.
Okay,
I was
so
thinking
that is. Sorry, yeah.
maybe I should make another sort of radio broadcast to the effect of trying to stop the retreat. Like, if I say, wait, maybe we can do this, if we can just if we can use their cowardice against them, they're stalling, they don't know what to do, and if we can just hold them here for like 10 more minutes,
Until the cannons recharge.
we'll be able to slaughter them.
Nice, I like it. So, I think because you've made a few radio messages so far, and this one is kind of changing the tone, let's have this be. Actually, probably Fayan probably would be best.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, he has to tap into some sort of great victorious thing where he's focused on the knife.
Actually, thinking about it,
Have
would
any good successful memories? Everything's gonna fall apart.
would Erasmus be able to do something?
Yeah, I think
Because
this-
using the Reaganomic-y sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh,
I think
yes.
Yeah, I think this is definitely an opportunity for Mr. Rasmus to flex his Reaganomic muscles. So let's see. Well, yeah, I'd say. Okay, let's do it this way. So, Bayan, you can. Actually, no, I think Bayan's going to be the one putting on the performance, and I think Erasmus is going to be more the one kind of facilitating it. So I think Erasmus.
Scriptwriter?
Yes. So I think Erasmus, if you go ahead and give me an intellect roll of difficulty 8. Let's see. I'm specifically gonna roll this. I mean, you're definitely going to be specialized because you have Actually, wait. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So Erasmus, you're basically rolling here to try and give assets to Faye. So you're going to be specialized because it's performance. You can use any of your other abilities or anything like that that you think will help. And if you successfully do this, then it will make any performance that Faye gives completely convincing. If it fails, then Faye will just have to do it on the merits of his acting skills. Just to check, Erasmus, are you still with us?
Oh.
Lol.
I saw his mic flicker, but
Oh, yeah, he's there.
There we go.
We can't hear you, we just see your mic flickering.
Yeah.
It's alive.
You muted too hard.
So, one flicker for yes, 2 flicker for no. Can you hear us? Okay, no flickers, probably
If you
also
restart
no.
your Discord, then it should fix itself. That's what happens when it's
Yeah, you might have to do that, Thomas.
Okay.
He definitely heard us because he's gone.
His internet could have also died. Oh no, sorry. Hello? Hello?
No?
yay!
If you said anything there, we missed everything.
Yeah, probably. I just freaking ignored me. Difficulty 8. No.
Oh, so close.
Okay, so I think so you're still gonna put
Ooh,
on
ooh, ooh, ooh.
some kind of.
Does he get an extra point for seeing Nye?
I was doing some pretty great stuff.
Usually a plus
actually,
1 bonus.
yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna give you that.
I mean, we were pretty damn awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's other factors contributing to this, i.e., all of the performance that you kind of put on until now, and also the fact that the story that you're trying to tell basically fits in with the events of the battle so far. So with that, I think you get at least 1 asset, and that would take you over the edge there, Erasmus. So let's see. Basically, is there? Okay, so I think this is going to take the form of your kind of using your abilities to make it so that Fayan's performance as a panicking panickingly defending the facility, but hoping that if they can hold the main fleet back for about 10 minutes, they'll be able to, raise up the kind of full barrage. And you can feel free to kind of jump in with a description, but I'm imagining it's basically like you're probably giving to the video feed like like you're perfectly tuning the transmission to show like just a few kind of bedraggled troops along with Fayan, and like maybe feeding in the exterior cameras showing out into the mountains and showing like a kind of bedraggled, hasty makeshift kind of defense line on one of the roads, that's like mostly just completely incapable of taking on this fleet, and also maybe throwing out kind of information picked up by their sensors on like how the charge up is going. But feel free to throw in any other details that might occur to you, or any particular flourishes that Erasmus would want to add to it.
Especially instructing the cameraman to do the Jason Bourne cinematography.
Oh, nice.
So it's clear that something is not stable at the ground. So
Yeah,
maybe
nice.
also
So like,
add a bit of rumble as to cast out about the integrity of the place.
oh, nice. So it's all like shaking and like sparks are coming from the ceiling. Nice. Okay. Oh, and yeah, like klaxons and red alarm lights and stuff. Yeah, like that.
It's also worth noting that Ronald Reagan himself was in a movie called This Is the Army as Corporal Johnny Jones. So clearly you've got a lot of wealth of material to draw from.
Yeah, nice. So he's maybe just like in the background, like screaming and shouting in a way that is draws on the masterful performance skills of the big R man himself. Okay, so yeah, with that I think you succeed, and as a result, the main force, like basically, yeah, the main force of the fleet seems to draw itself together and decide that enough is enough. These small detachments obviously aren't working, and therefore they're going to come in force and basically try and just wipe out this threat in order that they can continue their journey. So let's see. Two fucks about with icons and stuff.
Let the record show that I am jiving pretty hard on this track of Numenera as well.
I think we need a Numenera playlist published at some point, because
Yeah.
there's been some truly excellent music.
Yeah, you got some good taste, Conrad.
There's a band called Rachel's with an apostrophe.
These are on Win Empires.
I've got that all in.
I heard some Kyle Gabler earlier, some World of Goo.
If you
Not
have that on
sure.
Spotify at all, I want to
Selenography is the name of this album. Alright, so let's see. I'm not gonna plonk down like this more recent one because we're trying to use quite fiddly. But what it's looking is Zam, hopefully. Should be a bunch of things that appeared in the top right.
I see one so far.
I saw one thing. There is a kind of it's a spaceship. I don't know how to describe it. With kind of a
Looks a little bit like
wings that
Click
come
Wings.
in a bit like a claws thing.
about
Like
this?
Ah,
oh
there we
geez,
go.
that's some big stuff. Holy crap, it's a big blue thing.
That's a big TIE fighter.
I would have sworn the right look a bit like bike lights. That would look like my bike light.
Okay, so
It was you all along.
So what's happening here? These aren't completely scaled because fiddly, but basically there is a particularly giant mothership, which is practically half the size of the mountain range itself. It's forming the center of the fleet. These kind of torpedo-looking grey ones, which I'll pick in a sec. They kind of have the look maybe of some kind of like they're transporting smaller items. And the kind of grey, I guess, like Klingon-looking ships. It's a bit too big.
I just think the small ones are just there for away. That's really small detached.
The Klingon-looking ships are basically more like just straight-up attack ships to deal damage with. So these are accompanied by, so these are like the biggest, most notable capital ships that are approaching. They are surrounded by various kind of somewhat smaller ones, although big in the scale of things. Just flick you quickly back onto the hardware screen so you can refresh your memory with what some of these ships are going to be looking like. Just kind of select random ones from the bottom sheets. And yes, so basically, you know, various. It's a big old fleet that is kind of winding in and out of these notable kind of capital ships, and they are all likewise approaching the barrage with an aim to put an end to this threat once for all. And they're hoping, given the performance that they've seen out of you so far, they're hoping that what they've seen so far is basically pretty much the best that this primitive civilization could muster. So they are walking into the scene, and let's see. I think what they're basically going to do as they approach is they are going to let loose another, basically like alpha strike barrage from all of their ships, all of the weapons that they can muster. Actually, no, cancel that. Because I think just ships shooting lasers and missiles is a bit boring on Numenera. What's going to happen instead is that okay, I know what this is. The big mothership in the center, it approaches kind of to roughly position where it is, and all of the smaller ships around it, basically, how to describe it? They take up positions around the mothership, in kind of a circular and very regular pattern. All of them are like maybe a kilometer or two outside of the mothership, and they're all facing downwards. With that, the mothership starts to approach with all of the other ones surrounding it, aiming to position itself above the mountain mirage. And as it does that, various plates and openings on its underside are opening up and basically shooting great bolts of energy, like forming arcing links with these ships around it as they all tie all of their weapons and power systems into this ship in order to ready a coordinated attack downwards. Is not entirely certain so far. Once it's like gotten into this configuration, it is moving relatively slowly, so it crosses half the distance in this same turn that it. In that same turn, the remaining knife ships are going to try and do a strike onto the facility. So let's see. They're literally just zooming in towards it, nose first. Each one is like maybe not quite a kilometer, maybe 700 or 800 meters long, and their engines are flaring and leaving great kind of beams of fire behind them as they accelerate towards their targets. So you can try and make defensive shots with the barrage. You can do it with either the 3 cannons that you've activated so far, or try and bring them all online, or you can take some other kind of action to protect the facility, or even sacrifice it potentially.
Whoa, not sacrificing the facility. Hell no. But I do think at this point, I think we should just go all out with weapons. Anybody
Activate the
disagree?
artillery,
Yes.
the smaller ones.
Charge for super weapons. And
Okay.
oh geez. Well,
So
have these grey things already hit the ground? Is it going to be too late to target those?
Well, this is a defensive action, so how well you defend will affect how many of them are able to
Right.
get through and hit.
Well, the blue thing made quite a speedy charge. As long as it doesn't make just as a speedy retreat, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, now that it's linked up with these other ships around it, and just to like emphasize, this is like a very large number of ships that have surrounded it and kind of linked into it, even though I don't have icons for them.
yeah.
Hopefully it'll be slow.
Now that it's done that, it is moving considerably slower across the landscape as it charges up some kind of attack.
Would the mountain barrage be able to hit it, or is
The
it
charging thing.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
main?
That's why. Are we defending against a big blue thing or against the knives?
Well, I was thinking, what if we opened up? Right, we are pulling the trigger now. This is
Yeah.
everything in. Okay. If we use the mountain barrage against the mothership, we have a load of artillery around here to take on the knife ships.
Right. Okay, I get you. Good point.
Meanwhile, me and Kristen can, deal with those ships as well.
Okay.
We also send in. We've got our backup at the back of the field. We can activate them, and we've got our
Call in Shack.
yes, that is also a great idea.
In fact, those elites are quite close to these other birds of prey. I wonder if they could get aboard and hijack it.
Yeah,
Is that
theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah, that is certainly something that you could to try and do.
Okay, that's a good idea. Alright, I
Could
shall
also-
open up the. Oh, sorry, you were saying something?
Oh, well, I'm just going to say you could also, basically, some or all of you could potentially take part in that mission if you wanted to.
I think we probably want to shoot the big blue thing down. Or at least
Yeah.
it's a central part of the main fleet. I think it'd be quite a good blow to take it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's time for Shaq to rise from the waters.
Okay, so for a defensive action, we're just doing all of that. I guess.
Alright,
How
so
does
just to
that
be clear, so you're going to shoot all of the mountain barrage at the blue mothership.
Yeah, is it kind of a mass of ships at this point? So we can't say targeting parts, we're just firing all of them at it. Okay.
Well, if you have ideas on where you would want to target it at,
Well,
that-
it sounds like these big bike-like looking things were kind of core to it charging. I may have misunderstood that.
yeah, sure. Let's say that they seem to be supplying the bulk of the power into the configuration.
Well, I was wanting to target a bunch of cannons at the different ones of those, just so we can
Yeah.
interrupt whatever it's doing, as well as trying to blast it to bits. So if we don't quite defeat it this turn, then at least we will weaken it to stop it doing what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I can dig it. Okay.
So that's what I'm going to be doing.
So-
I know we joked about we led them on about, we have to wait 10 minutes before we fire it again. Is there an actual cooldown for these things? Time for the lava vents?
There's 13 vents. I'm going to say you get 13 shots every turn.
Cool.
Okay, and I shall.
Actually, no, sorry. I'm gonna walk that back. Actually,
No.
I think it actually is better if you have to charge it for one turn in between shots. So you shot last time.
Yep.
You're not actually. I'm gonna say gonna be able to shoot those this time.
Okay.
It's okay. We've got the big man coming to the rescue here. What's especially true is that this mothership is in a round shape.
Yes.
Excellent.
So I'm thinking that sucker needs to get dribbled.
Okay, let's see. So I think we figured out that the Titan is something like 2 kilometers tall. This thing is like, well, let's measure it. at the display on the measuring tool, like scaled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing's about 8 kilometers across. It is truly gigantic. Or actually, I think it is too big even for the Titan to dunk. Well, actually, having said that, no, let's put it another way. It's certainly bigger than the Titan. The Titan
That's the way I like to think about it.
the Titan might be able to. I mean, it has a lot of power. It has like really powerful rocket boost to take it up into space. It potentially might be able to like move it, but it's going to take some effort. It's not going to be as easy as like a whole
Okay,
Could
well,
Shaq
what
dunk a Zorb?
Could you dunk a thing into it, maybe?
Yep, I'm looking at this exhaust port across the top here, and it's
A conveniently placed exhaust port.
it's about it looks very hoop-esque to me, and fortunately I'm right next to a mountain in which I can dig my titanic robot fingers. And as you may know, a basketball is commonly called the rock. So I'm thinking as I get out of the lake, I reach over the closest boulder. I've been swimming in the lake, by the way, because you got to keep your training up. And I think I'm going to reach over to a nearby boulder and try and leap and do a flying slam jam right into the very top of this enormous mothership here.
Damn.
Is this for Chaos Dunk?
It might be. We don't know yet. I think that the Chaos Dunk is actually something that only Shaq himself can do, that he cannot transfer that power to the Titan.
I
Is my
think that
sense.
makes sense, yeah. Okay, so we got that happening, and the artillery is also going to open up on the knife ships.
Yeah, anything to protect the barrage.
Oh yeah, and the barrage is just charging up, and it's going to fire, but
Yeah, so it'll be next turn when that is ready. Do you want to do anything with the rest of your troops? You've got air troops in reserve, and you've got, let's say, the...
Well, we were going to try to board the Klingon, or what do you call it?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Elites
Yeah.
behind.
Your elite troops are going to try and board the one of the outer ships that is making up this configuration.
oh, there's some new ships. I didn't even notice these ones. These
Yeah.
are like giant A-wings.
They do.
Yeah.
A bit more yellow. Are they A-wings?
No, not quite.
Yeah, they're just whatever items I can grab, like matching as best as they possibly could. But,
Well, if they could board them, that worked quite well for us last time.
Yeah.
Let's say that like there's still a fair mass of ships behind this, whatever this conglomeration in the middle. So let's say that there's like a ship that is passing over the area of one of these groups of troops in here, so you can have them just like try and flit up underneath it unseen and try and board it.
That sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Okay, so we got a lot happening here. So let's start, I think, with the artillery trying to take out the knife ships.
I would like to say, facility. Can I get the troops that are currently in facility to distribute themselves around the area, just so that if we do get pierced by any of these knifings, they're not going to take out an entire battalion of them.
Yeah.
I think we'll need
sure.
if any troops come pouring out of them.
So you have them like hold up in the kind of mountain sites nearby, basically.
Yeah, some near the facility, but just not all congregated in a single area.
Sense. Do you want to leave anyone specifically like manned inside the facility?
Well, I'm inside the facility, so I'd like a few people there as well.
You could have the elite troops with you.
Yeah, let's get rid of the troops in.
Alright, so you and them are in the facility, the rest of them are kind of spread out around that area. Alright, that's cool. So let's have the artillery open up. I'm not 100% sure how to handle the roles of units that aren't like directly like resources to use up, basically. Let's just simplify it. Let's just have somebody. Actually, no. Let's just tie it into your player characters. Like, if you want to invest your effort in, making these units be more successful, then you can do that. So I guess whoever wants to can make a speed roll. This is going to be difficulty 7 because they're actually no, sorry, difficulty 8 still. it basically.
Has Minimum returned from the void?
No. No. Still there. Let's see. I wonder. I think, yeah, I mean, I think probably Fayan can roll for this, or Scoot can roll for it, although, sorry, Station, although he doesn't have much in the way of, like, weapons, so yes.
Sorry, this is about for the artillery fire.
Yeah, that's right. I should
Um,
maybe put a bit more thought into how that system would work.
Yeah, no one's
Um,
manning him. I'd be okay with
you know what?
minimal Scoot doing it to not
Yeah,
shoot
you
anything
know what?
yet.
I don't like how complicated this is getting. Let's just have whoever wants to roll a d20.
Okay.
Alright, so
Vote
who,
not Shaq. Wait, is that a D20? It looks like a D6. Oh no, that's a D20.
So he
Like D6 because I got it.
he rolled to decide which of us were rolling. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whoever rolls the highest rolls.
yeah, I think actually, I think what I'm going to do with these rolls is it's going to be a d20 to see how successful they are, but if anyone feels that their character could like help out in some way, then you can specify that and you can roll against your own stats. But for now, I'm going to take Shaq's fateful roll of 5, just to count for all of those artillery, so...
I think Erasmus would be able to manifest some targeting lines.
I like that, yeah.
Like in cannon fodder, no, not cannon fodder, scorched earth or something.
Yeah, like
Just
a giant kind of hug, basically, to target
Yeah.
on those things. Okay, yeah, I like that a lot, and especially because it ties into Erasmus's kind of persuasion and like morale boostering kind of stuff. Okay, so let's say that you lay out in the sky these kind of spidery holograms of targeting stuff, and let's have you make a difficulty 8 intellect, anything like like persuasion, or I guess just illusions and things like that.
Yeah.
Would kind of count. So this is gonna add on to Shaq's kind of roll.
ooh,
Very nice. In fact, yeah, let's just go
18.
ahead and take that as the like divinity roll. It's got a minor effect. So basically, yeah, you lay out all this kind of targeting information for all of the artillery, and as a result, let's see. Okay, yes, you have 3 pieces of anti-air artillery, and I'm going to say that is enough to make them all hit. So as these knife ships are streaming in towards the facility, just a huge kind of stitch work of missiles and shells flies out from the positions where these war machines, well, specifically where the anti-air artillery are located, and there's just this kind of thundering echo that cracks back and forth across the mountain range, as all of the projectiles just smash straight along the sides of these knife ships, and let's see, they basically blow up and kind of start to break up, but just because of momentum and so forth. They get thrown some way, of course, but kind of not completely. As a result, 2 of the lava ports get taken out when the knife missiles smash into them.
No.
Dear, oh dear.
Know that.
Yeah, let's say that they are.
Okay.
Well, and the facility gets, it basically gets bombarded by loads of kind of flaming debris and stuff. So let's say, I'm going to say the basic troops are going to take a bit of damage.
Are the like robo artillery dudes doing anything at this point, or have we just been using the barrage?
You've just been using the barrage so far, and then this shot that is happening now is from the anti-air artillery. Okay, so they take some damage, and so Fayen, the facility that you're in, like it gets kind of pelted by debris. Basically, there's like the walls are shaking, rocks falling down.
the nice thing actually crash into it as well, or is it just...
Well, it gets kind of destroyed first, but because of momentum, like
Okay.
all the debris is just like raining down over this whole area, so the facility is not destroyed. You take some light damage, and the troops also take some damage.
How much damage are we talking?
The light ones, actually, down a bit, have lost about 25% of their strength.
Ouch.
And the facility, I'm not going to write down a number, but I'm just going to kind of note for myself that it's taken some damage, so that might come into play later. But
I'm
it's
not
definitely,
sure. Carry on.
it's definitely still operational.
I'm not sure sending the light troops outside if you got attacked was such a great idea anymore, but like, alright guys, you can come in now. You've lost the quarters of your friends, but we're okay. No, I'm going to stick forward. That was a right move. That will probably not go well for me.
Yeah.
He's doing it again.
Fake it till you make it.
He's
But
killing
they're
people
drugged
off
up,
of
so
him.
they don't.
Actually,
notice.
yes. They don't even see the dead bodies.
No.
No.
That's candy.
I know it's supposed to be a
Yeah, they
health
get-
game, but I really want to play Haze now to see how they actually handle it.
They get
Because,
basically put into like Pyrovision from Team Fortress, especially since they're all like drugged up at the moment. I
yes,
think it's a working combination with Erasmus's illusions, so you can keep their morale up even though they've lost some.
some
Okay,
can spontaneously turn into bunnies.
so that was all of the artillery taking their go. Let's now handle the invasion of the enemy capital ship by the elite, troops. So let's see. Does anyone think that their characters will be able to directly aid them in any way?
Not me.
Could we? These are the same sorts of ships that we faced before, are they? Or is that the mothership?
Let's say yeah. So these kind of attack capital ships are like the big round kind of face ships with arms that you fought Zolokov on before.
Okay. So we could tell them a bit about, if we have a secure line to them, we can tell them a bit about the, the layout,
The fact that it's weirdly phase shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And you did like the way that you got into there before was basically by just smashing the ship into the earth.
Yeah.
So you can relay that as well, and that might be useful information to them. Okay, so let's see.
Are you as cool as us?
I think let's have Erasmus again. I think to both convey this information to them and also to do something that will like psych them up or prepare them or allay their fear as they make this very dangerous marine boarding mission to try and go aboard this ship. So I think that was going to be difficulty 6. Again, like illusions and stuff and deception would definitely help. Specialized. And because you are giving them information that you do actually have quite detailed information on, let's also reduce that to a 5.
Do a little bit of effort, and then I will talk to them shortly about this is the Star Wars program. The defense systems that we are setting up, and it's very important that you just crash your ship into the mouth of the enemy.
Nice.
This won't seem safe, but it is.
Alright, so you successfully psych them up to you give them all this detailed information like you were the briefing commander guy in Star Wars, and also you get the idea. So basically, let's see. Okay, I think somebody roll a d20, and then you're going to add +5 onto the total, and that's going to represent how well these guys do. So the 5 comes from the,
You.
I added the 5 already.
just the 5, yeah.
Ouch.
Sweet. Okay, so basically, you see, like, if you're looking through some binoculars or the scanners or something, as this capital ship passes overhead the position where you know the troops are stationed, you see their air transport wheel, and it's like a relatively small and stealthy one, not accompanied by any kind of fanfare or auxiliary troops to draw attention, and it just quietly makes its way up beneath the flank of this ship, and you see it charge its engines and then just smash into the face of it. And a short while later, you hear them reporting that they've successfully stormed the ship and taken control of it. So I'm going.
Good work, boys.
So I'm gonna take some seconds. Take these guys away. So basically, this ship. Let's tint this one blue. This one is now a friendly ship that you have taken over.
Yay.
It's
Nice. So
all
that
ours.
is that, and then the last thing that you're doing is the Shackman in his Titan is going to rip off a chunk of the mountain in front of the Titan, and then just try and leap up, do a booster leap up, and try and dunk it into the center of the craft. So let's see. Obviously, this is a sports role. I just love saying that. Let's see. However, because this is the mothership and it's also in a. Okay, so the mothership itself is level 10. I'm going to say because it's got itself into an attack configuration rather than a defensive one, that's going to lower it to difficult 8. You have whatever training or specialization you have in sports. Does anyone else think they can do anything to give an asset to this task?
Sorry, what again?
Oh, I'm about to slam a gigantic rock into the very center of the mothership.
I mean,
There's a big
how
hoop.
about an LA hoop type or like a layup type situation where we pass the
Pass the rock.
Can you guys
rock
pass
to-
the rock?
Of
How do
course
we,
we can
how do
pass
we
the rock.
how do we get the rock? Okay, so this has got to be. You got to remember, I'm in a 2-kilometer tall.
Yeah,
How
the
are you
dragon.
gonna
I think, like,
I mean,
said that, like, how big actually is Varix anyway at this point?
I mean, like he is only
2 kilometers tall.
No, I mean I'm thinking
I-
like standard dragon size.
Yeah, I think.
Or do you like the standard dragon?
yeah,
I'm not a great dragon.
you are to me.
Light dragon or an imperial dragon? In any case, I don't think that manhandling this giant chunk of mountain is something that Varix is going to be capable of.
Okay. How about we just hype you up?
Yeah, perhaps spray
kinda
some
like-
acid or something on the rock as it's falling towards the mothership. So it's.
Well, I was thinking more. Actually, this is not something I can do, but there may or may not have been an ancient battle song called the Space Jam, which if you blast that through
stereo.
Yeah, through a car stereo, say. I feel like that would be very, very helpful when you're dunking.
Alright, so here's what I think happens in that case. I think what it is Barracks, and I presume he's going to have Nye on his back during this. So Barracks is going to swoop down into the mass of friendly war machines and whatnot, and swoop down and lift up in his claws one of the war machines that has like basically giant speakers on it that's used for relaying orders and things. He's going to swoop down, grip one of those and fly off with it, and then basically start flying around Shack, or the Titan. I'm just going to call it the Titan Shack. Around Shack as he emerges with water streaming off him from this giant lake. And
He takes a cassette tape out of his denim jacket pocket.
No, I think instead, like Krizin, or rather Varix grabs the war machine, starts flying around, and then Nye says, "Hey Siri, play Space Jam."
Yes, I like that. And of course, because these user-friendly AIs and stuff in these machines know what's what, they know exactly of the ancient battle tune to which he refers. And that basically starts blasting out at a mega loud volume that goes soaring out across the whole battlefield as wish I downloaded and queued up Space Jam so that we could do this.
How could you not predict this?
I actually did think of it, but I didn't get around to it. But okay, you're just gonna have to imagine it. I think this is probably gonna happen more than once anyway, so maybe next time. But anyway, so Space Jam is echoing across the mountains as Shaq's Titan reaches down, picks up this gigantic chunks of rock, and goes for the air to go and dunk it. And while that is happening, I'm thinking that Barracks is like basically flying kind of in circles around him and just doing like pyrotechnics with like crazy neon laser breath or something like that, to also serve to like kind of like maybe blind the forces that Shaq is now flying over the mountain range. So, Shaq, this is going to be a speed roll, difficulty 8. So like I say, it's a level 10 mothership. It's decreased to 8 because it's in attack configuration. And yeah, presumably you're specialized in sports. And
Assets?
We give him
yes,
the.
I think Barracks is A, light show, and B, auditory jams are gonna give you 2 assets because you are particularly susceptible to height.
Yes. Space Jam is in fact my ancestral fight song.
Exactly. So if there's any time for your inner skills and sports essence to shine through, it is this.
It's actually something that you used to chant back in your monastic days.
Yeah, in my basketball cult, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shaq is now entering the arena.
So you are.
Wow.
Nice. All right. So.
Going for Space Jam.
Yeah.
So I'd like a nice juicy description from you. Basically, you're going to narrowly succeed in dunking this giant chunk of mountain onto the mothership. It's not going to destroy it, but it is going to do a significant chunk of damage to it.
It's pretty fair. All right, so Shaq tries his best to do an underneath the leg dunk. Nearly loses it on the transfer. You know, he's got it in his left hand, pulls it underneath his left leg, and he grabs at it with his right hand. Nearly loses it, clutches it to his chest, but finds time during the last moments to lift it from his chest to above his head, and then just really jam it down with authority into this Death Star-esque vent hoop on top of the mothership. And
Nice.
calls out 2 points.
So you are left, I'm going to say, perched on top of the mothership. You're not able to do an escape as well because you didn't get any major or minor effect. But as soon as you dunk that... As soon as you dunk that rock into the top, it basically, a large crack appears over the dome on the top, and basically there's basically a huge explosion, but because of the sheer size of the mothership in comparison, it kind of seems almost relatively puny. But basically the top section, which does something important, although you don't know what it is just yet, is damaged by this, and this will come into play later in the battle. So you are left perched on top of the Titan. That all happens just as the last refrain of Space Jam echoes out over the mountains, and the mothership lets out a kind of a wailing whoop of a alarm sound as ships around it kind of falter and shudder in place under this very damaging attack. So that is that turn, and with that we're going to end this session.
Right.
Okay.
Off to a good start.
You've been kicking some ass, and you've had. In fact, I don't think you've even failed any rolls. I don't.
Well, I think
I
we
think-
killed one early on, but yeah. I mean, I've only been responsible for half a battalion of people dying needlessly so far, so I think that's pretty good.
Doing good. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very useful record for sure.
I know.
Sorry, I know not everyone got to get completely involved in this, like Stacey didn't really do anything about it. I guess that's just the way it shakes out sometimes. Hopefully it was fun to listen to anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a bit concerned about where Minim is. I'm half expecting him, when we crack open that big blue ship, it's going to be revealed that he was the alien all along, and he went on some
Been
weird time
undermining you
travel
this
adventure.
whole time.
That first session when we were fighting was it the feeder? I think we called it in the end.
Yeah.
And you said, right, okay, Minim's on side, right. He decides to trade his way inside and eat its brain, and everyone's just like, is Minim the bad guy now? What's going on? I'm still not 100% convinced. Although I don't think you're the worst party member by far. No,
No, no, it's the worst one.
Oh, okay, well, I'll stick
Who's
more.
that then?
I'm still convinced. Fane's done less.
If anybody's a plant, it's Fane.
Fane doesn't have a plan. He just kills people and doesn't mean to. He's gonna accidentally start an alien invasion while looking for drugs.
Yeah, he accidentally kills people instead of Minim, who's doing it on purpose all the
Yeah.
time. He's definitely worse.
Yes. Like, you bad people. Fane's just like, no, you will not leave this spaceship. How dare you try and flee the spaceship? You will
That was
die.
one of the funniest things that I've ever witnessed.
He's so bad. He's
Okay.
Yeah, so if I thought about it a bit more, I would have thought of something specifically for Stacey to do, like I don't know, something doing something with the troops, or maybe fighting off some auxiliary planets or something. But
I'll bet it's fine. A lot of it was airborne. I can't really do much in the air.
yeah, true.
What
But
if we found a ramp?
Wait until we
and
got
more-
boots
more
on the ground.
chocolate?
Or you can use the harpoon gun that you definitely have to swing from ship to ship, which your car can definitely do.
That's true.
Oh, I mean,
To say your car would also have some sort of double jump feature built in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
yeah, yeah.
Varix, we've established that Varix can lift the car.
We also still have some transport, so you could lift the car up and
Mhm.
bring it at.
yeah, that's really true. Actually, you do have like troop transports or vehicle transports and stuff that.
Have
But,
you all seen
what-
Too Fast, Too Furious? The seventh one, I think it is.
What?
I'm sure everyone's seen all 7.
I've
Well,
not.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure Too Fast, Too Furious was the second one.
Well, it was Fast Furious. Anyway,
That makes it movie 14.
I think it was.
Fast and Furious. I don't know, they are called different things in Denmark.
But yeah, that's the one where they drop all of the cars out of the cargo plane.
Nice.
there is also a scene where they jump literally between high buildings.
Yeah, we could definitely anticipate some action along those lines. But yeah, there was definitely some epic moves pulled. I especially liked Barracks and Nye's tandem thing that they did at the beginning.
Yeah, that was real quick.
Bicycle built for two. Disco ball.
I know. Scoot, your car should be a Rocket League car with all of the brawl abilities. It's like the whole like stick spikes out and yeah, plunges and everything.
Oh, those things.
I do have a portable vortex as one of the Numenera that I possess. It's a tornado that you can unleash. Maybe I'll hand that off to
Pocket
Scoot.
tornado.
Yeah, the portable vortex pocket tornado that I can just hand off to you, and then that way you can shoot out a tornado Rocket League style.
Very nice. Well, I think probably next week I'll keep the same schedule. It seems to be working well, so it'll be
Sure.
Cool.
the Sunday.
Is it possible to start an hour earlier, or was that moved back an hour for good reasons?
I'm going to stop